Just remember that you guys are going to get a copy of this. So I want to skim and then know that you guys are going to have the resources that you'll be able to refer back to for all of the information. Still not right, is it? Okay, y'all see it on the big screen, right? Cool. All right, so you guys remember social media. One of the questions that's asked often, move up this way, is should you have a personal and a business page, or where should you be posting? So I want to address that first before we get too far along. I personally have both, and what I do for a living, I talk about on both. And what I do in my personal life, I talk about on both. But primarily, my Michelle Castle Home Loans is mostly business, a little bit of personal. On my personal page, it's mostly personal with a little bit of business. And so my point is, you guys, people do business with people. They feel connected to you as a human. So don't be scared to humanize either your business page or put business on your personal page, because people are choosing to do business with you. And if they don't know who you are, they don't know if they are going to decide to do business with you. So managing two pages can sometimes be a little bit of a challenge. And then if you get groups also, it adds to the challenges. And so when you get to that point, since we're doing it for business purposes, consistency is king. So posting consistency is really important. So don't get more pages than you can consistently post and engage. So you can't just post and ghost. You have to post and engage, or you're not going to get the eyeballs on your post. And if you're going to take the time to post, you might as well take a little more time to engage. So that means that if you post something and someone likes, or you really want people to love, laugh, care, and wow, or share and comment, that's what you want. If you're on Instagram, you want people to save, share, like, or heart, and comment. And when people do comment, you need to comment back. And that part is really important. And that's the engagement part you have to watch. If you will test this theory, go back 12 months, go back 6 months, and go find a post that you posted that maybe didn't get the engagement that you thought it should. Or you posted and you just really like the post. Go test this theory and go comment on somebody's comment on an old post and see how quickly all of a sudden it becomes alive again. And that's because you commented, you engaged, it matters. And if you were to go back to an old post and you were to go in and engage with any and everybody that commented, see how quickly all of a sudden that page is pushed in front of a lot of people. So if you had a great post and it for some reason just did not get what you expected, and it's really good content, recycle it by just engaging all over again. And then you'll understand the importance of engagement. Remember, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them only make money if people stay on their platform so they can advertise to the people on the platform. And so if you're posting something that people aren't interested in, they're not going to push it out in front of people because they need content that people are interested in. So just keep that in mind whenever you're playing the algorithm game. It's a game for profit. And if you're going to use the platforms for free, you need to know the rules of the game. All right, so in this, we're going to talk about the top share top trends. key strategies, provide some clarity on what to do, and then how to add some value. So TikTok, I'm going to go ahead and put all of these slides for sake of time. TikTok grows up and gets business. So we're going to talk about TikTok for a little bit and how you can use it, not necessarily to add another thing for you to do and engage in, but you still need to understand TikTok, and we'll go over that, why. Video is king. Again, we've talked about this several times. We have a class on this. Video matters. Even if it means a boomerang, even if it means a GIF, it doesn't matter. Movement matters. People want that. Static photos just don't get the same clicks. And then the five Instagram changes that matter most, and social media versus your website. Dang it, this doctor's office always calls me when I'm in the middle of something. Drives me nuts. Social media versus your website, which matters more? And we'll cover that as well. Then we're going to go over the Google ranking factors and how to optimize them. Social media posting, is daily posting really better? We'll address that, as well as the 3 most important social media advertising trends for 2022. All right, how many of you guys are on TikTok? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Just personal, entertainment. It's my real set photography. Mm-hmm. So TikTok has really, we're going to go over the demographics in just a minute on TikTok. It is changing rapidly. There's us older folks on there that weren't on there. I mean, I personally am on there just because the video editing is so easy. And so I get on there and I'll see a little bit, I'll record a video and I get off. So I'm not on there to engage, but I'm still on there. So, I mean, I'm still part of their algorithms. And I don't know how many other people are on there doing it like I'm doing it. But I also watch TikTok through Reels on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm always looking at makeup tips and clothing ideas. I mean, I've learned how to tuck my dang shirt in like everybody's tucking in, even though it looks goofy to have one side tucked in and not the other, but I learned it on TikTok. And so I think that that's why I think more and more of us are on TikTok for that sort of thing. But the demographics are changing. Dancing is optional. I love that they put that in on this slide. I don't dance, and I know oftentimes on those TikTok trends, it's a dancing trend, but I still can't get with that program. But TikTok is used in a lot of different ways, and there are several influencers that are noted in here purposefully so that you guys can go check out what they're doing and figure out how that might work for you. So this is one. So just write this name down and go check out what she's doing on TikTok. If you've noticed, there's a lot of people on, like if you are a fashion person, but you sell real estate, you can talk real estate and fashion at the same time. There's a friend of mine in Myrtle Beach, and she's called the Stylish Lender. And a couple of years ago, when she started posting like a model, she's just a doll. And so she does it really well. But I thought, well, that's just, how is she going to really like show the lending side while she's modeling clothes? But it works for her. It works beautifully for her. And now she has a closet full of really nice clothes that were donated because people want her wearing their clothes on, you know, so it works. Just figure out who are you and how do you wrap that into what you do? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just post both. So there's several people that you'll be able to just look at and see and get some ideas. But here's the TikTok users by age now. And it's changing because it typically was just the you know, the younger kids. Am I in the way? Can you see?
No, it was the podium, but that's okay. I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's pretty impressive. That
It is, isn't it?
30 to 39 is 21.7%.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys look at these demographics and go, okay, anytime you're looking at these demographics, who is my customer? How old are they? Where are they going for information? So if you are posting first-time home buyers, you know, there's 44% of your TikTok users are in that first-time home buyer age group. So it might be a good place to be talking about first-time home buying or selling your first home. I have there's a friend of mine. I've seen several people actually do this really well lately. You guys, they have teleprompter on their phone, the app called teleprompter. They find an article first thing in the morning. They copy and paste part of the article into teleprompter. They hold up their phone and they go, Zillow today says stats on blah, 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 blah. And they turn captions on. I mean, you know, they record, they turn captions on, they post, and then they let it cross post to Facebook stories and Instagram stories. Their social has blown up, and they're getting referrals all over the United States, just reading an article that they found first thing in the morning with the phone in front of their face, and all they're doing is reading a teleprompter, and the teleprompter is right there on their phone. So while you're reading the teleprompter, it looks like you're looking into the screen. It's amazing. And you don't have to edit anything. All you're doing is recording for 30 or 60 seconds. You pick the time, you pick captions after you do it, and you post. No editing required. And if for some reason you go faster than, you go a little bit longer than your, you know, say you record and it's 33 seconds, you can go back in there and speed your voice up just enough to shave off 2 seconds. No editing required. And you grab that market. Remember on the stats though that we talked about, there still aren't as many users on TikTok right now. Facebook still got the majority of the users. Then you got Instagram, but TikTok is growing quickly. This is a really, Glenda Baker is talked about often. She's hilarious. She is a country girl, Southern belle, talks like it, and is often in the pasture with her cows, talking about real estate. And she's got 500,000 followers. And so go check her out. She's a top 1% realtor globally. Go check her out and see what she's doing. And see what you think you could do on your own. Similar to being yourself. And then you got Zachary Loft. He's another, look, even in his description, he's got TikTok's realtor. Prison, Army, and realtor. Kind of fascinating whenever you go to his page, which is another thing that's really important. You guys notice whenever you go to their profile and you look, you know exactly what they're about. Make sure your profiles are set up, because if people see something that you've posted that's interesting, they're going to your profile to see what you're all about. Make it authentically you. But he's got 1.6 million followers, and he sent or received 250 plus referrals and closed 140 deals on TikTok. Well, from referrals, yeah. And 84% of his transactions were done online. For 2022, he's projected to do 350 by TikTok. And just seeing how Aaron Gordon's business and referrals that he's handing out all over the United States, I understand how it happens. And Aaron only started this TikTok a day challenge like 120 days ago. I don't know how long he's doing it, but it speeds up fast, especially if you do it daily.
And who was the other one that you picked before?
The Glenda Baker. And it's with 2 N's. Okay. And then Zachary Loft. And then here's another one. Daniel Hyder. 3.3 million followers. He sells luxury real estate. And he has the #1 real estate account on TikTok. Selling luxury real estate. So
that's because of the millennials and the X.
Look, he's in DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Okay. Generation X.
Generation X with money up Northeast.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay. So the whole thing, don't rule TikTok out. It's growing up quickly. People like the how-tos. Turn on captions, super important. Remember, people don't listen to videos, they watch videos. They read captions. They don't have volume on. Which is why the dancing works really well, because nobody's listening anyway. And then follow other agents to learn. All right, video is still king though, you guys. So here's what you got to keep in mind on video. Long form versus short form. TikTok, you can do up to 3 minutes, but remember, unless it's a really, really good story and you're a great storyteller, 3 minutes is too long. If you're known to tell great stories, people will get used to clicking and listening all the way through, but you got to be a good storyteller. And then your story has got to have a really good tie down at the end, explaining why you're telling that story and how it relates to them or to what you do. Reels, you need to keep it under 60 seconds. If it's any longer than that, it's no longer a Reels. It will go to the other section. YouTube video shorts are up to 60 seconds as well. All of this stuff could be created and saved on your YouTube so that you have a YouTube channel full of videos that you just stored from other platforms. So you're not reinventing anything you're doing. All right, your video strategy. It is very important. Unless you've mastered one platform, don't move to the other. And you can still be primary, like Facebook will probably be primary for me until Facebook goes away, because I've been on it so long and I have so many followers on Facebook. And I intentionally don't go public, which means I have to keep my follower or my friends down to 5,000. Which means I'm constantly having to delete friends so that I have the ability to add new friends. But the reason I do that intentionally, because I'm going to invite my customers to be a friend so that I can stay in connection in a relationship with them. And so you pick your platform, but get really good at one platform because they all play really well together. So if you're really good at TikTok and that's going to be your thing, the videos that you put on TikTok can be stored or saved and then uploaded to the other platforms or cross-promoted. So it's really important, though, that you guys have a posting schedule. You have to have a posting schedule. You can schedule your posts, but what I mean is you've got to have a time on your calendar, whether it's once a month you're going to record and create content and you're going to schedule the content, or you're going to do it weekly. My daughter does 100 schedules at one time. That's just kind of her thing. She will create enough, she will get in her zone and she'll create enough content to do 100 posts all at one time and get them all scheduled out. But she's posting multiple times. She typically posts once a day. And so that carries her through for a couple of months. And then she didn't have to think about it again. Then her post outside of that is just organic, everyday life posts, which are great for stories. But the best way to make yourself do this is just give yourself a 30-day challenge. For the next 30 days, every day I'm going to post a video. So whether you post you create all at one time, schedule the post, or post daily. Today, I held a phone in front of my face because I'm like, okay, I'm doing these dang TikToks right there like that. So I read my article. I didn't put it in a teleprompter because I just made it up as I went. And I read a couple articles and thought, I can wing this one. And so I just posted a really short little video on TikTok, no editing, just post, caption, or record, caption, post, done. And then I went ahead and saved it so I can put it on stories on Instagram and Facebook. Less than 5 minutes. So I'm going to do the 30-day challenge, and you guys are welcome to do the same. We can keep each other challenged. Remember, you're not going to perfect it. That's not the goal. People don't want to do business with people that are perfect. It makes them intimidated. So be imperfect, please. Perfection's not what they're looking for. If it's perfection, it's a commercial. You're just sharing information. You're not creating and recording a commercial. So practice makes progress, not perfection. Now, here's a couple of things that I learned on Instagram that you guys, and I tried it this morning to remind everybody of the class today. It was a little late. I mean, it was 15 minutes. So unless you were on your way, it was, but I just wanted to play around with the concept. So Reels contribute to the overall Instagram marketing success. So Reels are really important. Reels used to get a lot of eyeballs easily. It's a little harder now because they've moved on to remixes. If you will remix, Instagram will push your stuff out more than they do Reels. But for a while, they were pushing Reels out, and you could get thousands of eyeballs on a Reel really easy. Now it's a little bit more difficult. But Reels are super important. So whenever you're doing your Reels, there's some features that are coming this year. And they're doing the features to compete with TikTok. You'll notice that. I mean, what one comes out with, the other one will follow along. And then they'll push whatever that new thing is. They'll push your content out if you use that new thing. So as new things come out, you guys need to try it. Remember, it's not for perfection. It's just practice. Just try it. And you will get more eyeballs on anything that's new that you try because they're trying to push the content out. So story links. This is really cool. I did not know this was here. Melissa's probably like, I don't know how you didn't know this. But when you post a story in Instagram, now when you're posting a story in Instagram, if you'll go to your Instagram and look, and you go up here and you hit, it says Instagram in that little square with the plus. So that's where you're going to go to post, where you always post. And you pick story. You can upload from your existing photos, or you can go in there and record something new. After you add your story, you're going to go and find, where you have the, let me show you. Let me tell you, I can't show y'all. Let's see. Huh?
Oh, I'm just,
Oh, Diane, mute yourself. So if I had this picture here, I could post this. And then whenever you go up here where the stickers are, click on the stickers and find that link that looks like that chain in the link, just like you see right here. When you do that, then you can put a URL in there. So today I put the URL for this class registration on top of a picture of me standing here like this. That way, see you in 15 minutes. Here's a link to sign in. And I was able to pop that in onto the stories. Did not know that existed. I don't know how I didn't know that existed, but it's super cool. You can do the same thing on Facebook.
Facebook is where I usually do it.
Yeah, Facebook, you can do the same thing. All right. So here's the instructions again. You're just going to go to the little sticker dude that is right here. And then go to that link right here. And then you add your URL. Name the URL by however you want people to respond. Like your call to action should be the name of the URL. Click here to sign in, or click here to register, or click here to apply online. Click here to see this home, or schedule an appointment to see the view, to view the home, whatever. It's all right there. All right, now, now this will be interesting too. So, I mean, you just think about that. If you've got an open house coming soon, if you're going to do have an open house, as soon as you get to the open house, take a picture of you putting the open house sign out and the balloons out or whatever, and go ahead and post that in the stories with the link and a link to the listing, and invite people to come by. Or put your website on there, you know, for more houses like this, whatever. Use that link button as your call to action and to actually capture something from it. Because if you're going to do the posting, you might as well get something out of it instantly. And then Instagram feed changes that you're going to be seeing coming up. I don't remember what I was going to say. Instagram Live is something that I have not tried. The other day, I almost pushed the button, and then I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I was just pushing buttons, so I didn't. But remember, even if you go live and you don't like it, people are going to see it live if they happen to catch it live, but you can always delete it if you don't like it. So don't get scared of live, because just because it's live doesn't mean it's going to stay there forever if you don't like it. Just delete it. But get in the habit of using live. And this is why it's important. If I were to go live right now on Instagram, anybody on Instagram that is my follower would get a notice that I'm going live. Same thing on Facebook. And so sometimes it's not even what you say that matters. It's the fact that they saw that you just went live. They probably don't have time to watch or listen, but your name just popped up in front of their face.
Example, at Denison, I did a live.
I'll repeat what Melissa said. Yeah.
In Denison, I did a live while I was at the concert the
Mhm.
other night.
Mhm.
And immediately I started getting responses. Where are you sitting? We're here too.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, those lives work. I committed to doing lives again on Facebook on Fridays. I really like the Q&A lives. So if you guys have any questions, those are really fun. But you can also use the Q&A feature on Facebook, which goes really well. But those lives, don't be scared to do the lives. Look at the live streaming demographics. 80% of people prefer a live stream over a blog post. Why? Because people don't read, they watch. They'll read captions, they're not going to read an article. They'll read headlines, they're not going to read the article. They are also not going to listen to what you said unless you're a great storyteller and have something interesting to say, but they will watch and read the captions. 63% millennials watch 63% of the millennials watch live streams, and 27%, I don't understand that stat. BJ, do you? 27% more watch time. They want more watch time. I don't understand that stat. But those other two were pretty astounding.
probably if they want it to last longer than.
That's what I was wondering. So the lives are too short. Yeah. All right, using carousels, which is really important. So in Instagram, whenever you have multiple pictures turning it into a carousel, that will get more views than a static post. So here's what a carousel post would look like. Let me move this. See, it'll go steps. See, that's what that looks like. They're really easy to create. And they outperform videos and images. Why? Because people like to watch things moving. And those are just real short little captions that they can read. All right. So, and you get more engagement. Nice swiping in the carousel. So if I post a carousel, what matters is that they need to know that there's more to the post. They see the little dots under the post, so they know there's more than just one picture. But whenever you see, like in this post, wait, let me click over here. Whoop, that wasn't it. On this carousel, it said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What would be even better if it said 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4, or whatever, so people know that there's still more. Because what you want them to do on a carousel is swipe, because that counts for the algorithm. That's why the carousel is so important. People are engaging by swiping. All right. So try posting a variety of content.
Used to Facebook had carousel, but I have not been able to find it.
No, I don't think, does anybody on this call know if Facebook used to have carousel, and I haven't seen it. Has anybody else still used Facebook carousel? Maybe y'all know where it's at. Okay, nope, nobody else has seen it either. All right, let's talk about social media versus your website. It's two different things and you use them differently. Which one is more important? Well, here's my thoughts. For our business, for yours and my business, websites are still important because that's where people can go for follow-up information. It's also really important to have a website that people go to. They have to visit, click, and engage, again, for algorithms from a Google SEO standpoint. So website's important. Don't get fancy on your website name. Remember your brand. BJ, it took her forever to get this into my thick skull, but your brand is your face and your name. So if you get really fancy with your website, it might look cute, but you're going to just make it hard for people to find you. Keep it simple. Make it your name. And if your name is already taken for a domain name, then you can still do a variation of your name. Like it could be the Carla Davis, the Veronica Garcia, if Carla Davis is taken. So the websites, but we'll look at the demographic, or we'll look at some studies and statistics in just a minute. If I had a retail store, like I was selling clothing or shoes or candles, something like that, a website may not be quite as necessary, especially if it's an in-home business, because you can use Facebook for your inventory and to sell your stuff. But those of us in a service-related industry, I think a website is still extremely important for you to have as well. But statistics show of people, 54% of people use social to research products. 90% of people use search engines to find local businesses. A website is important for Google reasons. How many times do people go? I know I do this all the time. I will Siri something. Hey Siri, where is the nearest shoe store? And Siri will pull it up. And if people did not have a website, the shoe store would not show up. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to find the one I'm looking for, and I'm going to hit the call button off of Google, or I'm going to hit the directions off of Google, and it's going to take me there. But if I didn't have a website, that wouldn't happen. So both are equally important, especially in our business. Does anybody have any questions in regards to that? All right, so social media versus website. You connect and engage with your audience on social media. You can't do that on a website. Yes, they can go in and comment. You could have a chat bot, but it's not the same. People are not establishing a relationship. They don't feel connected to you through a website. It's called social for a reason. And then building the brand and the following. Your reputation, again, on website, I mean, heck, you could have stickers made, and your website could be on billboards, and your website could be QR codes everywhere you go, but it's still not the same as branding yourself and having a following It's just a website of information. And reaching new audiences. Like if I wanted to all of a sudden start talking about the VA loans, for example, and I wanted to go all in on VA. If I were doing that and I was trying to rebrand my website, that would be a really big deal. If I'm rebranding myself on social, I just start talking about VA loans. And then all of a sudden my news feed is full and my stories are full and my reels are full of all things VA. And I can make those swift changes through social where you can't on a website. And then it's just so much easier with your call to actions. I mean, your call to actions could be in the post, but remember, most of these platforms want people staying on their platforms. So if you make a post and you're directing people off of their platform, unless there's a ton of engagement, they're going to suppress that post. They don't like you uploading videos off of another platform. So one thing that Deborah shared with us last week, I can't remember the name of it, Remake or something like that, and I'll get that for you guys. Where you can strip the TikTok off of a video, because if the TikTok watermark is on the video and you're posting it to Instagram or Facebook, they're going to suppress it because it came from TikTok. So you want to strip that off of there, which I haven't been doing, before you post it. And then that sharing the content on a website, people can't share the content. You guys, the best thing y'all can do for people that you really, really like is share their content. That's a huge favor to somebody. So if someone shares your content, be sure to thank them for doing so, because that was very kind of them to do that, because it does increase your reach. And it just puts you in front of a whole group of people that you probably didn't have access to because these folks were not on your friends list or your followers. Now, if you're going to use for the website, please know and understand that that's a great place for you to go to have a sales funnel. Do y'all all know what a sales funnel is? It's basically a call to action funneling people into, whether you funnel them into a database or you funnel them into an email or a CRM or whatever. You have a call to action, and whenever they do the action, then it puts them into whatever it is you want them to go into next, which is typically your CRM. Websites are really important. I mean, like we Google businesses in our business. If someone is working for an employer we've never heard of before, we'll go look and see how credible this employer is by Googling the business. So from a credibility standpoint, it's super important. And we have a class coming up, and I think it's in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, talking about Google Places and why it's important that you're on Google and you have the reviews and all of that. And then without a website, from an SEO standpoint, you're not going to be found. So 53% of all website traffic comes from organic search. When you have a website, you can also buy keywords. Like I buy keywords. I just changed up my keywords this morning, actually, based on success and stats. And affordable housing, I think, is one of the keywords I'm going to buy. But my point is, I can buy keywords online and create traffic to my website. And then once I have them on my website, I can target them. That means once I capture them, then anytime they go log on to any of their social feeds, my ads are going to pop up. All I got to do is funnel them to my website to get them to click based on Google words that I purchased. And then once they click, I get them in a funnel, and then my funnel, then it goes straight into my CRM. And then I also target them to make sure that I capture them as a customer. But you can't have that strategy if you don't have a website. All right, your social media presence doesn't replace your website. It's an extension of. It's the social part of the business. The new Google search ranking factors is what we're going to talk about next. And this is just a brief overview, and we'll go deeper in another class. So near me or mobile searches have grown 200% in the last 2 years. So real estate agent near me, people are asking Siri. Homes for sale in, they're asking Siri. Your Google rankings will determine if you show up when people ask Siri this question. 69% of home shoppers who take action on real estate brand website begin their search with a local term like Sherman Homes for Sale, Denison Homes for Sale, affordable homes for sale in my area. Or homes near me for sale.
That always pops up when you type that in.
So homes near me, when you start typing, and you can start typing, and when it starts auto-filling some of the words, then you know you're hitting something that other people are typing. So when you do that, of course, this is what you see. If you're not on Google and you haven't ranked on Google, this is not what they'll see for you. Notice this guy has photos, he's got reviews, and he's got all of his information, including his hours, posted. He even has a link if someone wants to make an appointment with him. It's all right there on his website. Who needs billboards anymore? This is your billboard. And it's full of clickables. People love pushing buttons. So do you want to know how you optimize? Melissa knows. Guess what? I got a class coming up for that. So come to the class and we'll talk about that some further. So this is, so I'm gonna share with you guys some tips and tricks in just a few minutes in regards to your posting. So is posting daily really better? There you go. There's your stats. Hang on. Posting 2 times a day increased clicks versus posting once a day. If you're looking for more followers, post more often. 50% less clicks when posting 2 times per day if you have less than 10,000 followers. So posting 1 to 5 times per month doubled engagement. Now, I have not seen, and I'm so glad Melissa's in this room. Here's how you need to set up your calendar right here. Now you know. Scheduling posts used to affect your algorithms, depending on what I have found personally is if I schedule through the platform itself instead of a third party,
The business suite.
through the business suite, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If you use the Meta Suite, which cross posts for you, and schedule your posts aren't suppressed. If you use a third party company to schedule your post will be more suppressed. So you're going to have to work harder for the engagement. Does everybody understand what I just said? If not, ask.
Hootsuite is great, but it will suppress.
Yep. Hootsuite, Canva has got scheduling, but it'll be suppressed. All of those third-party scheduling programs, the post won't get the same engagement as using the Meta business suite inside of the platforms. to post. TikTok is not included in the Meta Suite. Neither is YouTube.
Pinterest, if you're going to have a video, it needs to go through from your YouTube.
Okay.
Your link.
All right. So Melissa's saying if you're going to post on Pinterest, which also is a great way to get, if you're really all about interior, like if, say for instance, you wanted to feature front doors on every house you ever list or show, you take a picture of the front door and you talk about, you know, the heart of the home, you know, just whatever you want to talk about in terms of front doors. And so every house you post about the front door, and maybe you take it one step further, and every house you sell, you give them a new wreath for their front door. And so after you sell, you take a picture of the wreath on their front door. Whatever it is that you're going to do, that would be such a great Pinterest post, but it also is a great way for you to brand yourself in general. And people would, when they see a unique front door, they may start beginning to think of you. They may even send you a picture of a cool front door that they saw in Europe on a trip. How cool would that be? Those are really good posts for Instagram as well. But what Melissa was saying is if you're going to post a video in Pinterest, now you can't schedule through Meta on Pinterest also. You have to post it by yourself as well. So TikTok, YouTube, and Pinterest, you have to post on your own, not through the Meta Suite. The Meta Suite works for Facebook and Instagram because they're owned by the same company, Google. So with the Pinterest, if you're going to do a video, you got to import the URL from the YouTube video in order to get it onto Pinterest. But that's a whole nother platform I don't see many people using, and there's a great opportunity to use Pinterest for. I could use it in my business and just post. I could post all of the cool checklists and stuff that we have on Pinterest. And so if people are looking at manufactured home checklist, then my checklist would show up. It's just one more thing. And whenever you're looking at the schedule of events of things that you need to be posting, or you choose to post based on the platform, then you'll see your time can get consumed if you're trying to be an expert at all of them.
The other thing that they need to consider posting to is LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn, yes.
LinkedIn is really important, and to use hashtags in LinkedIn just like you use them in Instagram.
Really good point too. Y'all write this down. Hashtags. Facebook doesn't really care about hashtags. You can be cute and funny with hashtags. Hashtags to me is almost like the exclamation statement. On LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok, hashtags matter. And you can search the top hashtags by starting to type the hashtags and see how many followers have used that hashtag, because they matter. But pick your platform, pick your schedule, and put it on your calendar. Don't try mastering all of them. Pick your one and get really, really good at that one. The three most important social media advertising trends for 2022. App tracking transparency. So only 4% of people give tracking permission. So I'm gonna watch this.
Felix? No, Felix. Date of birth, November 5th. Tracking current location.
Here's what you spent last night. It's not how to bitch.
Kind of scary. People complain, like my family will have that conversation of being tracked on social and blah, 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 blah. And I remind them how much money I spend tracking people. I don't want to be tracked, but I want everybody else to turn tracking on so I can market to them. When they get near my building, if they were driving down to CJ's and they get close enough to CJ's, I want my ad to pop up whenever they're sitting in line waiting to pick up their food and they get on Facebook. I want my face to show in front of them. And then when they drive 2 more buildings over, they see my sign too and go, oh, how ironic is that? I just saw her ad and there's her building. No, it's not ironic. I'm tracking you. But it is pretty scary what we're capable of tracking through the tracking. So it is going to get more and more challenging because people are more and more aware of the tracking that's going on and they don't like it so much. So let me get back to this. Don't tell me I got to do that all over again. Hang on. Sorry about that. BJ, you have anything to add while I'm pulling everything back up?
Nope, I think you got it. I think you probably have filled the minds to the point that they're ready to explode.
Okay.
Michelle, what about the days of the week that are?
Oh, for posting? Yeah, we're going to, well, yeah, be sure we cover that because that's really important. First party data, own your audience. You guys, you really can, you have the ability to purchase any of this information, any of it. So the Google ads, whenever you're purchasing the Google ads, you're just purchasing search words. So yeah, I mean, you've kind of somewhat invaded people's privacy, but only by searchability of words they've typed. So not quite as infringing on their privacy as some of the other things that you can purchase and the information that you can get. But the tracking, whenever you do go that level to actually start paying for the information, it's amazing how selective you can be on who sees your stuff. So other ways that you can, if people have got their privacy turned off, it makes it harder to gather the information so that you can be really strategic with your target audience. So some of the other ways that you're going to have to gather the information as more and more people are turning privacy off is to have information, be a resource, solve problems in other ways that make them click to give you the information you need in order to get them into your CRM and into a drip campaign. So, I mean, it's even harder, like if you were to go do a event, let's just say Fall Fest, and that's the first thing that came to mind. Oh, let's say Music on Main or Hot Summer Nights. And you were going to have a tent out and you were going to serve cold water for free. But as people come by, you have a QR code for them to scan on the water bottle. And it had some kind of little cheesy, dumb dad joke. Want to hear a dumb dad joke? Scan here. And they would scan on that and they would get a dumb dad joke, but you could make them sign in order to get the joke. And you could do that all from a QR code. We have to be more creative on how we're gathering information because people are turning privacy off. So how do you do that? For some people, they do a really, really good job of creating newsletters and sending those out and asking people to share it, asking them to subscribe to whatever they have going on. And that's another way of doing it. You can do it through text messaging. Hey, I've got a newsletter coming out once a month and it's going to have this information. Click here to sign, to receive the newsletter. So you just have to be more creative right now since people are turning off the privacy. It just makes it harder. But whenever people do have that information, you can customize your audience. Targeting your audience, and what Melissa's talking about, I want to be sure to cover in just a minute, is targeting your audience is super important, but you got to know who your audience is. Like specifically, who is your audience? What are their biggest struggles? What are their problems? How can you help them? And talk about those things. But you also got to know what they're doing and when they're doing it so you can reach them at the right time. So I always think about, you know, like a first-time home buyer as an example. I'm just going to go that direction right quick. First-time home buyers. A good place to be thinking about how many of those moms are picking their kids up from school. And so what time is school out? Yep, 3 to 3:30. So if you were going to do a Facebook Live on how to buy your first home, that might be a good time to go Facebook Live or Instagram Live or YouTube Live. Or maybe that's the time that, you know, you have TikToks recorded, or you have some carousel posts in Instagram, and you have like the steps to buying a home. Or if you want to be known for, you know, I think about Richard Hunter and his engineering background, and just he's all about outdoors, but he could also talk authentically about home maintenance, what it means to own a home, what you need to expect whenever you own a home, and why it's important to have money in your savings account because something's going to break. But how can you learn to fix some of this stuff yourself so you're not having to pay somebody for everything? Those would be really good posts for someone like him to post. But then if that's his content, who's his audience? What are they doing and when are they doing it? So he can reach that audience. So you got to be that strategic whenever you are thinking about posting. But remember, you create the content, like you just sit down, go give yourself a half a day to really come up with some great ideas and go to your best thinking spot and come up with the ideas based on your target audience and go and schedule the post. The Facebook Lives and those things are going to have to do live at the moment. You're going to have to put on a calendar with a reminder. But the other things could just be a post that's scheduled out. And so that's why it's so important for you to know your audience and what they're doing, what their pain points are, so that you can post based on solving their problems or providing them resources that's helpful to them. And then making sure that you have a call to action so that you have them in your ecosystem. You guys are in my ecosystem. You show up to a class, we have the Event Brite link, and we have the Event Brite link because it's more convenient for us to make sure that we know who's here. If you guys did not sign up through the Event Brite link, that's the way you're going to get the information afterwards. You'll get a copy of the recording, you'll get the slides, and you'll get a summary with any handouts. But you're now in the ecosystem for us, and I'll make sure you're in the CRM so you know everything else that's going on. I'll make sure you're in the Facebook group so that you can see live time if anything changes or any, you know, things that are helpful to you in your business. You'll be in that ecosystem. So you'll be in the CRM, you'll be in my social ecosystem. Well, it's all social. And then you're going to be on our newsletter. So the next time there's a class, you're going to get a reminder. So whenever you're doing your posts, make sure that you know your audience, you know what their pains are, you have a solution, or you have some resources or information for them, that have a call to action that gets them into your ecosystem so that you can continue to stay engaged with them. Does that make sense? And it's not as complicated as it sounds if you just pick one and do one really, really well. And when that becomes such a habit that it's like no big deal, Then you can add to it. It reminds me of the story that BJ told me years and years and years ago. And I use this analogy a lot. But if I wanted to learn to juggle, would I pick up 5 balls and then just all of a sudden throw them up in the air and be a juggler? Hell no, I would not. I'd drop all the balls. But if I picked up 1 ball and I got my rhythm down really, really well, and I was juggling that 1 ball, I'm a juggler because I'm juggling 1 ball. But then the challenge is to juggle the 2nd ball, throw another ball in there and get really, really good at that. And then continue to add balls to my juggling act. So social media is the same way. You're not going to be an expert at all of it all the time, all at one time. But there's so many tools and resources available to make it easier for you. Scheduling those using the business suite is the best way to just go once a month, create content, but get just really clear. What platform, who am I speaking to? What are they doing? When are they doing it? And then schedule accordingly. And
the Meta Suite,
mhm.
it will actually tell you your optimal
Oh, that's right. It sure will.
when you should post. The other that I did learn.
Can y'all
was
hear her?
that On Sunday.
So wait, the Meta Suite, whenever you're on the Meta Suite, it'll give you your insights. So you'll know who's watching, their age, and then it'll also tell you when your audience is on, so you'll know when to post. It will be a graph, and it'll have like, you know, hours of the day, and it'll have a graph that shows you when people are off and on. So that helps you determine when to schedule.
Is MetaSuite an app?
No, it's in Facebook, in your business page. It's part of, hang on one second. Let me just pull mine up. I'll show you. Well, I'm proud of myself. I don't have Facebook up yet. I don't know what's worse at making me go down a rabbit hole, Facebook or TikTok. All right, let me go over here to my pages. Let me go to this one. All right, I don't remember how I get there, Melissa.
Whenever
Business
you go to
apps?
create, you can do it either there or you can do it over like create a post, and it will ask you if you want to go into MetaSuite. But you can do it from your tools.
See, there's all these apps in there too. I thought Calendly, I think Calendly is even part of this. Yeah, you guys, did you know on your business pages, you can add a calendar app and people can schedule to call you or go see houses if you wanted to be really strategic with your time?
So go back to home and then go into, just go over like you're going to create a post. Oh, Meta, go back down a little bit. I think I saw it. Yes, Meta, free Meta business tools,
Where?
right there in the middle.
Where?
Post templates, add appointment.
That's, oh, yeah. Okay, I'm staring right at it. So I was just, Danny, I was just on my business page, and you know, whenever
Right.
you scroll down and you're going to create it's right there.
Can you
So,
screen share?
oh, yeah, I can. That'd be helpful. There you go.
Thank you.
So this is just on the business page. So I went from here to pages. Then I went into my business to my Michelle Castle Home Loans. And I just scrolled down and it's free Meta business tools. Cool. So.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of things.
There's all sorts of templates.
Explore it.
Yep. Just go play around in there. Remember, you can't mess up too much. I mean, unless you have your camera on whenever you're taking a shower or something, you're really not going to mess up too much. That would be a big mess up. But I keep reminding myself that whenever I take my phone to my bathroom with me, there is a camera on this thing. It would be my luck that I'd be on Facebook Live while I'm taking a bath or something by accident.
Might be worth finding this little thing
Yeah, the little
Slide-
things to slide over
slide
the camera. Yeah.
Think of the business you might get though.
Or think of the business that I wouldn't get. They go, oh, I thought you looked better than that.
We might get a lot of followers.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays are heavy viewing days.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are very heavy viewing days.
Then Sunday is next in the afternoon because people are.
Sunday
relaxing.
afternoon, people are relaxing, laying in their hammock, feeling the cool breeze that we wish we had at 110 degrees outside and humid. I find I get a lot of engagement at 10 o'clock on Sunday. I mean, think about it. If you're working with moms, for example, if that's your target audience, typically they're not sitting down. If they're working, they might be in line to a drive-through, but hell, now even that Uber Eats delivers our food. So we're not even in line or waiting on food to come to our table like we used to. So a lot of times they're not on until kids are in bed and things have settled back down. So just think, I mean, you just got to know who is my audience and what are they doing and when are they doing it. But the suites will, the suite will help you with the insights.
And if you use Hootsuite or one of those others, they also will show you
The insight,
because
the,
they
yeah,
are good about
that
that.
they're tracking it too. Yep. So, Danny, did that help you?
Yes, very much so. Sometimes I have trouble getting to a lot of the things that you speak about.
Mhm.
And I know I'm kind of on the elementary side of things here, but you know, finding some of these things is a challenge sometimes. And even if you don't even know it's there,
Mhm.
I had never heard of the Meta Suite.
It's
And I guess-
relatively new though.
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
But I haven't explored enough, I guess,
Mhm.
into the business pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pretty helpful. Just remember, it's not going to get the same engagement as your personal, which is why you can't just rely on business for business, because
Right.
the purpose of the business page is for you to pay.
Right.
So that's why you gotta do some business on your personal page. And you need to do some personal on your business page, just so people see you as a human. Thank you.
Yeah. That helps, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, all right. Well,